Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
They go back to Pollard on second down. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Trying to run for it with Pollard, and he is going to lose yardage here. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Let's go now. Check, Bobcat, check, Bobcat. Ready.
They begin the drive with Williams. Pat Surtain up to make the play. This defense for the Broncos, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Panther Street, Panther Street.
They run it again with Williams. And some room to work. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, this shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A gain of 37.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Wilson to throw. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. I tell you what, credit is due there on him preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. Huntley to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Huntley. That is caught. Rashad Bateman. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Wilson. Going up top. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
The kick by McManus is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. To throw, Huntley. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. After one, a 14-3 ball game. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. On the counter, here's Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Off play action. Huntley. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. 4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. That was close to a big play, and just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run left with Pollard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Baron Browning able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter but that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
It's David Ajabo there for the tackle.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. Right where this set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. The kick by McManus is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for them, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. He finds his man. It's Charlie Kohler. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Huntley. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Throwing on 1st down. Huntley. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about it. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Baron Browning. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Let's go.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Huntley towards the end zone for Brown. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Off play action. Huntley. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Baron Browning able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos are back within a score.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Operating from the gun, Huntley. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first. Play action. Now Wilson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. It's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
That offense trying to erase that deficit, get a little bit closer here and climb back into this game in the third quarter. Instead, they further their disadvantage, Charles, with a pick six.
And that defense came out willing to do anything necessary to defend that lead. I think they looked around the huddle and said, who's going to make the big play? Who's it going to be? And the person who just ended up in the end zone with the football, he was the one that answered the bell.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now it's 2nd and 9. And they'll send the tight end in motion.
They go play action now. Wilson.
That's going to be caught by Judy. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Mike Purcell. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. And the lead will hold at 10. So first and goal quickly turns into fourth and goal, and then fourth and goal turns into no points whatsoever.
That's a very disappointing sequence of events right there. And I, for one, would not want to be the kicker who has to run over to his head coach and explain that one.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this fourth.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face second and long.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates, any ball that's in the air is going to be mine. And that turned out to be true.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
His third touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year.
And the Ravens look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Ravens are going to take over here up near the 40.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw on second down,
Huntley.
Oh, wide open, complete, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown.
Hollywood, Marquise Brown,
63 yards, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with foot now and get himself calm.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And a nice pickup there as he'll get about 9, and that will lead us to a stoppage here at the 2-minute warning. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
On third down, here's Harris. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team is clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Check, man. Check, man.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Now Williams running left. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's only able to work this from the 8 to the 10 for a pickup of 2. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were booted, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I'll bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Baltimore,